This is the way nightmares begin, or perhaps end. Very simple, direct, unadorned. Incredible, and yet so terribly real that even while they're happening, we live with them and digest them and assimilate them. We were preoccupied with the hands on a clock when we should have been checking off a calendar.
With any point of historical contention, each party at variance often gets caught up in too many trifles. So much so that soon thereafter none can see the forest for the trees. With one single, simple, scientifically verifiable fact, we can excise a portion of a long and sordid narrative from the annals of 20th century historiography, and from it derive some absolution, if not the end of requisition blame, for an entire people. In 1921, the German Corporation for Pest Control trademarked a version of hydrogen cyanide under the brand name Zyklon B. It became an extremely effective delousing agent, as it was the only known chemical at the time which killed lice eggs, and when combined with steam would leave fumigated clothing fabrics intact. During the Second World War, it was utilized at almost all of the labor camps in Central and Eastern Europe to prevent typhus, a lethal bacteria carried by lice. In late 1941, the German army had a major outbreak of typhus when it entered Russia, severely limiting their operations. This was later brought back west, where a massive epidemic exploded from 1942 till 1943. Total lives lost in Europe to typhus from 1941 to 1947 is estimated anywhere from 3 to 5 million persons, many of whom were housed in labor and post-war POW camps. The mechanism of death from lethal doses and/or toxic inhalation of hydrogen cyanide, also known as prussic acid, is nearly identical to that of carbon monoxide poisoning. With hydrogen cyanide, the body cells are prevented from using oxygen via the chemical inhibition of cytochrome C oxidase, while with cases of carbon monoxide poisoning, the inhaled gas combines in the bloodstream to create carboxyhemoglobin, which prevents red blood cells from carrying oxygen to the body tissues. In both, and with 100% forensic certitude in hydrogen cyanide fatalities, the decedent's skin will manifest red or pink blotches over much of the body, with particularly brighter hues around the mouth, nostrils, armpits, groin, and limb extremities. So, to be brief, after having reviewed over 10,000 eyewitness accounts from survivors and camp inmates interned during World War II, after having read some 40,000 Nuremberg transcripts from all 12 trials, and after having examined countless items containing colorized photographic evidence, there was not one single mention or observable confirmation of pink or red-hued bodies being pulled from chambers. None whatsoever. Surely the brightly colored bodies would have stood out in stark contrast to those that had perished at other times and places within the camps. Any witnesses to such an unimaginable sight would have discussed repeatedly and never-endingly the color of those pitiable figures. But there is nothing, and the disconcerting nature of this plot hole becomes ever more insidious whenever one silently ponders it.